Welcome back. All right, today we're jumping into something that, let's be honest, gets all of us. Negative thoughts. But what if I told you there's a powerful, super practical way to challenge those thoughts, to actually reframe them so you have more control? That's what we're breaking down today.
All right, so here's the plan. We're going to start with what I call the thought trap. Then I'll show you a tool for your mental toolkit. After that, we'll walk through the 5 key steps, see how it all works in practice, and wrap up with the real power of perspective.
So, first things first, the thought trap. This is really about why our minds get stuck in these negative loops to begin with. You know that feeling when one single negative thought just gets stuck on a loop in your head? It just spirals, right? And it makes you feel worse and worse, even when a part of you knows it's probably not even 100% true. It's so frustrating, but yeah, it happens to all of us. Well, that whole cycle, it actually has a name. It's called a thought trap. And here's the cool part. The second you can name it, you can start taking it apart. There is an exit, and we're about to find it. Okay, so how do we get out of that trap? We need the right tool. Let's talk about a really powerful technique that you can add to your mental toolkit for some serious clarity. The tool is called cognitive restructuring, or just CR for short. And what is it really? It's a psychological technique that helps you do 3 things: identify, challenge, and then change those unhelpful, distorted thoughts. It's about getting real with what you're telling yourself. I love this way of thinking about it. You basically become a detective for your own thoughts. See, this isn't about judging yourself or forcing some kind of fake positivity. Not at all. It's just about looking for the facts, sifting through the evidence, and figuring out what's actually true. All right, this is the core of it. The 5 steps to reframing. This is your step-by-step guide to breaking free. Okay, so here are the 5 steps we're going to cover. 1. Identify the situation. 2. Pinpoint the automatic thought. 3. Gather the evidence. 4. Formulate a balanced thought. And 5. Reevaluate your mood. It's a really clear path from feeling stuck to finding some clarity. Okay, let's dive into step 1, identify the situation. So you can't really tackle a thought until you know what kicked it off, right? So you've got to think like a reporter here, just the facts. Who, what, when, where. So instead of saying something like, my boss was mad at me, you'd write, during the 10 a.m. meeting, my boss frowned while I was speaking. See the difference? One is an interpretation, the other is an objective fact. All right, on to step 2. This is where you pinpoint the automatic thought. So what's the very first thing that popped into your head? That's what you need to capture. Write it down exactly as it sounds in your mind. No filter, no judgment. If it was, oh no, I'm definitely getting fired, then that's what you write. And then, this is important, rate how much you believe that thought on a scale of 0 to 100%. Okay, step 3. This is where the detective work really begins. Gather the evidence. So, you're going to put that thought on trial. First, what facts actually support it? Be honest. But then, and this is key, what facts contradict it? What evidence proves it might not be true? Are there any other ways to explain what happened? A really good trick here is to ask yourself, what would a good friend say to me about this? That can really help you get a different perspective. Which brings us to step 4. Formulate a balanced thought. Now, looking at all that evidence you gathered, you're going to craft a new thought. And listen, this is not about toxic positivity or just telling yourself something happy. The goal is accuracy. It has to be a more realistic, fair, and most importantly, believable statement that you can actually get behind. And finally, we've got step 5. Reevaluate your mood. So now, go back to that original automatic thought. Remember that 0 to 100 scale? Rate it again. How much do you believe it now? Chances are that number has dropped a lot. And then just check in with yourself. How do you feel now compared to before? When you notice that shift in your emotions, that's what really cements this whole thing. It shows you it's working. Okay, so theory is one thing, but let's see how this actually works in the real world. We're going to put it into practice with an example you can probably relate to. Okay, check this out. Let's walk through it. This situation, a coworker walks right by you in the hall, doesn't say hello. Bam. The automatic thought hits. They're mad at me. I must have done something wrong. And your belief in that is like 90%. Oof.
But wait, let's challenge it. What's the evidence? Well, they were looking at their phone, they seemed rushed, and hey, they were totally friendly yesterday. So the new balanced thought becomes, you know what? I have no idea why they didn't say hello. There could be a million reasons that have nothing to do with me. And now the reevaluation, your belief in that original thought drops to maybe 20%. And how do you feel? Less anxious, more neutral. See how that works? So when you zoom out, what's the big idea here? It's all about the power of perspective and realizing you can take control of your own inner narrative. And this really gets to the heart of it. You are not your thoughts. You are the observer of your thoughts and the one who has the power to change them. That's it, right there. You're not the storm. You're the sky watching it pass. This whole technique is just a way to learn how to be that observer, to step back, and to consciously choose a better, more accurate story. Look, this isn't some one-and-done magic trick. It's a skill. It's like building a muscle. It takes little practice, for sure, but every single time you do it, you get stronger at managing your own mind. So I'll leave you with this question. What's the first thought you're going to choose to reframe?